Ah, the Ghost of Tsushima, a nearly flawless game that follows the story of Jin Sakai, a badass warrior who's forced to abandon his samurai way in order to defeat the incoming threat of those. God damn, Hungarian! And now Jin's gotta pull out his sword and say,
"Oh shit, here we go again."
Because after like 4 years or so, I'm finally gonna play this DLC I bought. Time to go to Iki Island. I'm pretty sure the last time I played this game was on PS4 in like 2020 when the game first dropped.
Damn!
Back then I played it on hard, and despite being not nearly as good as I was back then, I'm gonna put it on the hardest difficulty. This difficulty essentially mimics real life because a single sword strike can kill you. But worry not, I got the platinum trophy in this game, which means I'm an expert Ghost of Tsushima. We should be alright. Jin hears a few rumors about how some of the villages are having hallucinations and just all out freaking out. So he goes to investigate, and in the middle of his investigation a voice calls out to him.
"The eagle calls to you!"
Jin then gets ambushed by a couple of Mongols. One of them in particular is a shaman. These shamans sing, and when they do, the other Mongols nearby get a bit of a power boost. They remind me a bit of myself when I was like 9 years old and I really tried to go Super Saiyan. So obviously first things first, we gotta get rid of the screaming guy. Once he was down, the fake Super Saiyans were next. If you're unfamiliar with Ghost of Tsushima, there's 4 different stances you can use based on your enemy's weapon type. Stone for sword, wind for spears, moon for heavies, and water for shields. It is quite a bit complex, but I have quite a few hours in this game, so it came back sorta quick. Although playing on lethal was definitely something I was not used to.
Oh, nigga!
And then it progressively got worse. They killed me again, and while I was clinging to life, they shot me in the face with a flaming arrow. After that, a swift backhand with a shield was all it took to knock me out. Then he stabbed me in the back. And just like Goku Black said, this pain will make me stronger. I just took way too much disrespect from these NPCs off rip. I had to pull out tryhard mode.
Bastards.
Then our boy Jin pulls out his best Batman impression.
I haven't seen these Mongols before. They claim to follow someone called the Eagle. One of our people mentioned Iki Island. I have to go back.
The last time Jin was on Iki Island was 15 years ago, where he watched his father get brutally murdered right in front of him. So his memories of the island aren't exactly the best. But now here we are 15 years later as a grown-ass 30-year-old man, and we're ready to face our demons head on. But first things first, gotta pick out a new outfit for a new journey. And now we're ready to start our journey to Iki Island. If you're wondering what outfit I went with, I picked a basic ass ninja outfit. This apparently angered the drip gods, and they struck down my ship with a giant bolt of lightning. Jin, you must relinquish all of your power and rely on plot armor alone to get you to Iki Island.
It worked.
Now here we are on Iki Island, and this is the exact point where I remembered that this game actually has stealth mechanics. This gives me fond memories of the past, back when Ubisoft would make actually good games. Right after that I came across the Super Sample Rock, and right next to the rock is a little mini game. These little spots are kinda like collectibles, or just little fast travel points basically. Just think of it as like Flute Hero. Jin plays a little song, and then he has an interaction with whatever animal happens to be by the rock. Then I came across the first labeled Mongol territory on Iki Island, Sentinel's Peak. So immediately I start murdering every Mongol I see, and murdering all their pets as well. Stupid fluffy dogs. However, this big bastard next to me was really not having it, so he smacked me up real good and shouted this really weird line of dialogue. For whatever reason, this seems to be their favorite line of dialogue. Okay bro, you got me, now don't say it again. Ooh, you son of a bitch, if I catch your ass again, I'm killing you so... After shouting the same shit a bunch of times in a row and brutally knocking my ass out, the Mongols decide to capture Jin alive. They then drag his unconscious body all the way to their leader, the Eagle. The Eagle decides to get a bit more acquainted with Jin and introduce herself. Jin tells her that tomorrow morning 1,000 samurai will show up on the shores of Iki and take her down, although she is not buying any of it. She's like, yeah, whatever man, you about to drink all this juice. The Eagle then forces Jin to drink her super LSD soup. Immediately after drinking the soup, Jin wakes up next to a familiar face, Yuna, a character from the main story.
What's wrong? What did they do to you?
The Eagle tribe's leader. She fed me some kind of poison.
Yuna here helps Jin recover and gets him back on his feet. She then tells him that she's here to help him fight the Mongols on Iki Island. As they're escaping the Eagle's fort, Jin tells Yuna that he's actually been on Iki Island before, but the last time he was here was a bad time, and he reveals to her that he watched his father get killed by raiders.
Losing your father in an ambush. I can't imagine how painful that was.
Sometimes I can't either.
Once they approach the exit, Yuna asks Jin a ominous question.
What do you see?
Why didn't you help me?
Mother? You
and kill me.
You saw your father die.
You poisoned me.
To open your mind, these visions are just the beginning.
Yep, as it turns out, Yuna was never actually here, and she was the eagle the whole time. What a way to start your journey, Jin. And now, like the demon she is, she can use Jin's childhood trauma of watching his dad get murdered right in front of him against him. So, as Jin tries to escape, that's exactly what she does. As Jin quickly tries to regain consciousness, he wakes up and finds himself as a 15-year-old boy again, and then he hears his father call out to him.
Jin! Can you hear me?
Father?
He quickly runs towards his father's voice, hoping to right the wrong from his past, still screwed up by the trauma of letting his father die right in front of him. Like I said, man, the eagle is really on demon time off rip.
Your father never wanted you on Iki. Everything you do tarnishes the Sakai name.
That's a lie!
Jin! Hurry!
I'm coming, Father!
The further Jin runs, the deeper he descends into his trauma. I mean, this is some crazy shit. Imagine taking some acid and this is what you see. After forcing Jin to relive all of his childhood trauma, he does actually find light at the end of the tunnel. Unfortunately for Jin, that light led him to watch his father get killed yet another time by some raider named Tenzo, who's actually here to help him out.
She's close. We better go. I know someplace safe.
Jin and our boy Tenzo here get well acquainted with each other and find out that they have a common goal. They both want the eagle dead. Tenzo here is a raider of Iki Island, and although their enemies are the samurai, they hate the Mongols even more. Jin informs Tenzo that the eagle poisoned him, and Tenzo actually tells him he's familiar with the eagle's poison, so Jin asks him some fair questions.
How long does it take to wear off?
As far as I know, doesn't.
And right here, Jin gets smacked right in the face with the fact that the poison is not going to wear off anytime soon. So basically, Jin's got to pull off this whole operation with the eagle's own modified form of schizophrenia.
You ran from your father's death for years. There is nowhere left to run. You will lose your soul to madness.
The visions. They're still happening.
At this point, after being on the island for a numerous amount of hours, Jin decides it's probably time to go try and find his horse. But first, I decided I needed some drip that made me look more like an anime character. Now I kinda look like Inuyasha's older brother. I head back near the beach I washed up on and find some horse tracks nearby.
That sound. They're close. Kage, he needs me. Or not?
After being reunited with our horse, we get a whole new technique. I imagine getting struck by lightning and then having to swim all the way to shore, and then defend yourself on a strange new island for multiple hours will make your horse develop a few new techniques. Basically, we get a charge attack. He brought that on himself. Don't attack a man's horse. The outfit I'm wearing feels wrong. If I'm a ghost, I should be wearing white. It just makes sense. Alright, back on track.
Is the eagle's poison still affecting you?
Yes, but it hasn't slowed me down. Take me to meet your raider friends, and I'll prove I can help you fight back.
Tenzo leads Jin back to the raider stronghold so he can meet their leader. And of course, on the way there, they happen to run into some Mongols. So Tenzo uses this opportunity to observe Jin's skills. And I use the opportunity to kill everyone stealthily, because it's much easier.
Good. You're not too sick to fight.
After that, me and Tenzo continue to the raider stronghold, and on the way there, there's just some absolutely breathtaking views. It's crazy to me that this game is from the last console generation. Like, this is a PS4 game.
Almost there.
He is luring you into a den of murderers.
You know, I know she's supposed to be bullying me and everything, but that's actually a fair point.
I can explain.
I hope so. Because right now, I'm really curious why you brought a samurai into my home.
You sent me to find people who can fight.
Fight for us, not against us.
If I wanted to come for you, you would know it.
You're in, samurai.
Guess you just gotta talk a little shit and you're in good with the raiders. Let's see what the stronghold has to offer. And the first guy I found is some dude telling a story about a demon captain, so yeah, I decided to listen.
Perhaps you can tell me the tale.
Of course. Black Hand Riku was once the cruelest pirate captain to ever terrorize Iki Island. Riku built his armor to honor a brutal Sarugami. This monkey demon inhabited his armor. 6 years ago, Black Hand Riku attacked a refugee ship. Its cargo, children. His crew watched in horror while Riku's monkey fed on the trimmings. Then mutiny. He was stabbed through the chest and blinded by the poison. But he clung to life, protected by the armor of the Sarugami. Riku hid his Sarugami armor somewhere on Iki Island. Now he haunts the coast. A wrathful spirit who preys on anyone brave or foolish enough to seek the cursed armor of Black Hand Riku.
Alright, well, just like some Dark Souls shit, we got our first optional boss. And if you know anything about optional bosses, they're usually way harder than they need to be. The game tells you to go all the way to the northern coast until you find some glowing water. I followed the water and it led me to this little monkey right here, and a mysterious cave. Very ominous path to this boss fight. Dark as absolute hell. You gotta pull out your bow and arrow and shoot a few flame arrows into these braziers, but you know, I guess it's a cool atmosphere. Once we make it to the center of the cave, Black Hand Riku reveals himself.
I have seen you in my dreams.
Show yourself.
Another hunter, desperate for my armor and the power of the Sarugami.
Black Hand Riku, you survived.
No, I was reborn in darkness.
This boss fight serves as a just beautiful reminder of how amazing this game can be, how cinematic the fights can be. And if you thought that was a bar, the man has more.
You're blind. This isn't a fair fight.
No, it is not.
Jin reaches for his sword. He's like, yeah, no, that was too badass. You gotta die. Yeah, man at the village was not overhyping Riku one bit. Boy was swinging at me with the speed of God himself.
I couldn't even see him.
During this boss fight was where I realized putting it on lethal difficulty was a brave decision, to say the least. Truly, my ego is not built for the disrespect that this game has dealt me. And honestly, every fight I had with this dude, I felt like I was doing pretty good. Like, I was seeing his attacks, I was dodging stuff, until I wasn't. After getting murdered by this bastard 3 times in a row, I felt like I sorta had him figured out. I was seeing his attacks better, I was dodging in slow motion, I was parrying a lot of his stuff. I felt like I had my own inner anime monologue going. Now I can see everything. I figured out his attacks, I've learned all of his moves, now all he can do is accept defeat. And then he dodges my final blow and kills me instantly. Tried to spin my resolve and get back up, and he killed me immediately again. The sight of him slashing me in my face and then stabbing me in the back became very familiar, and so I realized my only path to victory would be a flawless performance. Jesus, that one took a lot of willpower, I'm not gonna lie. The reward for beating Riku is actually pretty solid though. It's his cursed Sarugami armor. Gonna be honest, it's not very drippy, but the armor's abilities are actually pretty dope. And immediately you're able to test out these abilities, because the guy from the village who initially told us the story of Black Hand Riku is here to try and steal the armor from us. Why he thinks he can beat Jin, who just destroyed his old captain, is a mystery to me, but you know, here we are.
Kashira, shouldn't you be busy telling ghost stories in Funa's refuge?
Hand over the armor. And make it quick. I need to piss.
The armor is mine.
The armor basically makes counters and perfect dodges more lethal. When you do a perfect dodge or a perfect parry, you're given the opportunity to counter attack with square or triangle, and it gives you this super cool little tornado spin attack. I don't know why exactly, something about a demon possessing the armor. I will say that the little tornado spin is pretty useful.
The Sarugami still inhabits the armor.
Back on track with the main story, and we're supposed to be meeting up with Tenzo so we can attack one of the Eagle's warships. And on the way there, we have to run across this really big bridge. And if you're familiar with the main game story, you might understand why Jin could have a little bit of PTSD when it comes to bridges. Basically, in the main game, the very first encounter you have with the main boss, you have to fight him on a bridge in an attempt to defend your home. And basically, he just kicks your ass and throws you off the bridge. And Jin almost dies. And the Eagle's definitely making sure Jin never forgets that day.
I hate it here.
We catch up with Tenzo and he's in the middle of interrogating some Mongol they captured. The Mongol's in the middle of saying he's telling the truth, but Tenzo says he's lying and murders him.
You called him a liar. What did he tell you?
Nothing that can't wait.
Sense a little bit of animosity in that response, Tenzo. We gonna have to address the way you talking to the Ghost of Tsushima after we destroy this ship, baby.
We'll take that supply ship without a scratch.
So me and Tenzo pretty much fight our way through an army of Mongols, attempting to reach the Eagle's warship so we can pretty much take it down from the inside out. But once we get to the coast, the warship is blasting artillery all over the place. And man, our boy Jin here really thinks he's John Wick from the 1200s.
Fall back! No, I can go around. Take out those weapons.
You'll be blasted to pieces. Do it, Jin. Show Show us what a samurai can do.
I think even Jin is aware of his plot armor at this point. He's like, whatever, I'm just gonna take my chances and run through all these explosions and somehow it's gonna work out. Although it's never a proper mission until the eagle starts bullying Jin.
The raiders know who you are. They are leading you into a trap.
You're not real.
When you die, will the raiders pray for you? The same one they spoke before murdering your father. May your death benefit all beings.
Be quiet.
As we make it to the summit of this little cliff here, we get closer to the Mongols cannoneers that keep destroying all of my raider allies. I tried to take everyone out quietly and it almost worked, but this guy here saw me kill his friends and then his friends saw me kill him. Damn you bastards, I'm trying to do this stuff quietly. You're making me look less cool. After Jinwick here finishes piling up some bodies, we make it to the top of the cliff. Here we can finally see the warship, so I take out a few of the Mongols that are guarding the entrance. Then I make my way down to the ship and pretty much start murdering everyone I see. Jesus, he really is Jinwick.
Sure took your time silencing those cannons.
What's going on with you? One moment we stand shoulder to shoulder, the next you're ready to cross blades.
Not now, samurai. We have a job to do.
And then here comes this man Tenzo again with this passive-aggressive bullshit. Did you not just see what I did for you? In the middle of our much-needed conversation, more Mongols invade with a whole nother warship, so we gotta take care of them next. Fighting this many people on lethal is already hard enough, but especially when it's dark and I can't even tell who's on my team and who isn't. I tried to run over and murder Tenzo, and in the process I got shot in the back by a flaming arrow. Twice. Honestly, these arrow guys are absolutely ruthless. They just do not stop firing. I mean, look at this. I'm like Jin relying on plot armor alone just to dodge these arrows. I will say though, this little ship segment here reminded me of a lot of fond memories I had from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. To this day, it still might be the best Assassin's Creed game of all time. After I successfully murdered everyone on the ship, basically by myself, we set a few of their gunpowder barrels on fire and make a run for it, successfully destroying the Eagle's warship and proving to the raiders that we're here to help. Now Jin and Tenzo need to get back to their much needed conversation.
Good work, Tenzo. I think Fune is going to be pleased.
No. She's going to skin both of us alive.
What are you talking about?
You tell me. Lord Sakai. One whisper of your real name, and every person in this refuge will line up to split you wide open.
Say my name. Force me to defend myself. This is what the Eagle wants. Samurai and raider spilling each other's blood.
Bullshit!
Who told you I was a Sakai? Was it the Mongol you interrogated? The Eagle wanted you to know.
If they find out I brought the butcher of Iki's son here, they'll stake both of us down.
I won't let that happen. This stays between us. We can save Iki Island if we stand together. But our fight is just beginning.
You, samurai, and your speeches. I'll tell Fune your plan worked.
The Butcher of Iki is a title that they gave Jin's father after he and him were here trying to establish law and order, you could say. And like I said before, the raiders really weren't fucking with this, resulting in them pushing back and ultimately killing Jin's father. However, Fune understands that Jin's very different from his father, and his actions destroying the Mongol warship show that. So now to prove his loyalty even more, Fune's next mission for Jin is to reclaim Fort Sakai while it's lightly defended. So I pulled up to the fort, dressed in all black again. I'm just really in my John Wick era after taking out that ship. I killed the first group of Mongols and then talked to a few raiders they were holding prisoner.
Are you with Fune?
We were before the Eagle captured us. The Eagle may be gone, but she left her commander in charge.
Then he won't leave this fort alive.
So then Jin has an idea to free all the raiders that are being held captive in this camp. He's pretty much making himself a mini army. It's only fair, to be honest. If I'm risking my life to come here to save y'all, the least you could do is help me fight.
Take the fight to them! Forward!
So me and my mini army stormed the gates, and I want to say these NPCs were actually helpful. Me and my boys were melting through these Mongols, and this led us right into our next boss fight.
The Eagle knew you would return, samurai. You have received her sacred drink.
Is that what she wants? To make me a shaman?
Your transformation has already begun. You can accept her gift, become her shaman, or I will break you in the name of the Eagle.
Her gift is a curse, and I will never bow to her rule.
Yeah, I thought the Blackhand Riku fight was hard. This right here is not okay. Like, look at this. One backhand with that shield and I was dead. Stood up and he did it again.
Let me tell you something!
So yeah, this is Kunbish, the Eagle's second in command, and I hate this bastard. He's got so many different weapons. The dude has Minecraft pockets, and he can one-shot you with all of them. You literally have to use every stance in the game just to fight this guy. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, this was a one-sided affair for 90% of this fight. It was some Drake vs. Kendrick type shit.
that, fuck 'em up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff.
So after getting stabbed in my back about 8 times in the span of 2 minutes, I decided I should change my approach. So I put on some actual samurai armor, hoping this might give me a chance. This armor is Fugazi, it's stormtrooper armor, it did nothing. I still got one-shotted. I don't know how long an in-game Ghost of Tsushima day is relative to real life, but I spent so long getting my ass beat and then stabbed in my back by this dude. Before I knew it, the goddamn sun was down. It was literally nighttime. I've just never had my ass beat from sun up to sundown before. I don't know how to feel about this. Sometimes the only option you have is to get good. I had to be patient. I had to play like my life was really on the line to beat this guy. I had fought this dude like 20 times at this point. I knew everything that he had to offer. All I had to do was react accordingly. I love when there's a specific challenge in a game that's so difficult that it forces you to pull out a flow state you don't get to get into too often. That's really the only way I could describe the ending of this battle. I was on some Goku in a tournament of power type shit. I was feeling the heat of the battle. Dude could not stop me. I was truly Jinwick in this moment. I sat here and got murdered by this man a good 20 something times, took all my L's like a man on the chin, and what does he do? Man just starts running away. And then on some Scooby-Doo villain shit, he dropped some bombs at the bottom of the ladder. Like, did you think I wasn't gonna see that? Why didn't you wait till I was on the ladder?
Your visions will grow worse, driving you to madness and death. If only you had accepted the ego's gift.
Persistence is key. The pain of him stabbing me in the back 347,000 times only made me stronger. Jin's loyalty to the Raiders is secured. On several occasions throughout this playthrough, I noticed myself just riding around on my horse and taking in some of the absolutely amazing views this game has to offer. To be fair, it's probably because 90% of the time I'm playing any games, I'm higher than Giraffe Pussy. And in the middle of taking in some of these breathtaking views, I noticed a big mountain in the distance. This moment in particular made me feel like a kid again. It's like that first time you played a truly open world game, and you noticed something in the distance that looked really cool, and you thought to yourself, I wonder if I could go to that. I wonder if I could get on top of that. And so that's exactly what I did. I made it to the base of the mountain here and I realized, oh, this is exactly what the developers wanted me to do. They wanted me to see this big beautiful rock. And honestly, this was a nice change of pace. Even though it started storming immediately as soon as I got here, the views were still beautiful. But then here comes the goddamn eagle.
It would be so easy to let go. Fall, looking for redemption. You won't find it here.
Like damn bro, a ninja can't take a hike and just enjoy himself? But despite the eagle trying to ruin Jin's day, the sun came back out. And even though this is a video game, it's almost the same dopamine hit you get when you go on a real hike and just see a beautiful sunset. Or it could just be the weed, I don't know. After a whole lot of climbing and swinging, I was finally close to the top of this mountain. It took me at least like a good 10 minutes to climb up this mountain, and honestly I didn't even know what I was coming up here for. Mostly it was just to see if I could, but there's actually a little monkey sanctuary up here, so it wasn't all for nothing. Honestly though, even if there was nothing up here, the journey is worth it. You can actually tell when the developer really loves their own game. You can see the whole beauty of Iki Island from up here. Alright, time to play this little monkey man a song and get the hell out of here. Before I confront the eagle, there's still a few things I gotta do. And just like earlier with Black Hen Riku and his cursed armor, there's some more cursed armor you can get, but this time it's for your horse. In order to get it, you just have to traverse this deadly ass ship graveyard. There's not really any enemies here, just these big ass annoying waves. After getting through all that bullshit, I found the armor just chilling inside one of these destroyed ships.
You look just like my father's horse. May this armor protect you in battle.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
Now that I got my horse properly prepared for battle, it was time to get our preparations in order so we could attack the eagle.
Where should we position the men?
Hide people in those houses and granaries.
Where your father's victims hid, terrified and weeping.
Doesn't make any sense, but the closer Jin gets to the eagle, the stronger her influence gets. Despite that our boy charges headfirst into battle, he knows he has plot armor. And shout out to my horse with his new armor, we were literally running through these Mongols. And then like an assassin out of the shadows, this man comes up and just sneaks me. He then proceeds to die immediately so his friend can finish me off. So yeah, I guess this is war. After I spawned back in, I just had to come across this NPC that really wanted to be the main character. He was stuck on me like a fly attracted to some shit. He wanted nothing more than my death. Third time seems to be the charm. I was able to kill enough Mongols and avoid death long enough to trigger this cutscene.
May your death benefit all beings.
May your death benefit all beings. I've heard that before, from my father's killer.
You're hearing things. It's the eagle's poison.
Say the prayer for yourself before I end your life.
You lied to my face.
You lied to yourself. Your father was my enemy, not you.
How did someone so worthless defeat Kazumasa Sakai?
All I did was finish the job. Get on with it, samurai!
Not yet. You killed my father by luring us into an ambush at Senjo Gorge. That's how we're going to kill the eagle. Talk to Fune and meet me near the canyons. Tell her I'm Jin Sakai. She knows I fight for Iki. My actions prove it. Tell her I am not my father. If I was, you would be dead.
That was a pretty badass line from Jin, not gonna lie. But yes, it turns out we have been duped. Been helping the man who killed our dad this whole time.
I take it Tenzo told you who I am.
He did, Sakai.
First, we stop the eagle, then we'll settle this.
So, even though nothing's been resolved, me and the guy who killed my dad go to confront the eagle. Basically, as soon as we pull up to this field here, Jin sees the eagle out in the distance. He points her out to Tenzo, but he says he can't see her, which is obviously weird. Right after that, as soon as you get close enough to the eagle, Jin starts having one of his episodes.
No, not now.
Accept my gift.
Your gift is poison. Tenzo! The eagle got away! Look for her!
She was never here, Jin.
But if the eagle wasn't here...
And where is she?
Where am I, Jin?
Silent.
What place on this island calls to you? Where were we destined to meet again?
And like the demon that she is, the eagle's waiting for Jin at the exact same place he watched his father get murdered by Tenzo. Diabolical work.
Meet me in the heart of your pain. Let me heal you.
Damn it, give me silence.
Jin, you need to turn back.
Too late now.
And yes, Jin is correct. It is too late. We are in far too deep. This is the place where the dude next to me killed my dad. Somebody has to pay for this.
The sacred medicine brought you here. Do you know why?
To end your reign of terror.
For years you hid your pain. The sacred medicine allows you to see it.
Against my will.
Don't let the darkness take you, Jin.
Handle the others, Tenzo. I'll deal with the eagle.
And yeah, as you probably guessed it at this point, she smacked the shit out of me in about 2 seconds. She's sort of similar to the last boss I fought. She doesn't have as many weapons, but she's a lot more dynamic with the weapons she does have. And she's just way faster than you would expect her to be. And with this being on lethal, the first few attempts I was doing literally nothing to her health bar. Each time I lasted maybe 30 seconds. I hear a lot of guys have this problem though, I'm not worried about it. I wasn't taking all these L's for nothing. Each attempt I did get a little bit better. And when I say just a little bit, I really do mean just a little bit. Really, it's just because 1 or 2 hits from her kills you, which is fair, it's realistic, but it gives you 0 time to learn her moveset. So unless you have the reaction speed of God himself, you pretty much have to die a million different times.
What the hell? Oh my god, no way, yeah.
So after getting just absolutely brutalized I don't know how many times, I was finally able to get her health around 50% or so. And of course as soon as I got there she murdered me instantly, but this meant I was getting closer. I even got a little glimpse of the scene that would trigger if I wasn't getting my throat slit. So I quickly did my best to make it back to this point, and once the scene actually triggers, it slows down time, which unsurprisingly makes things a lot easier. As soon as you melee attack the eagle though, it triggers a clash, and then she's pretty much just like, you know what, we're done fighting, it's time for your cutscene, Lord Sakai. And then for like the 9,000th time, she's like, you know what Jin, I'm gonna make you watch your dad get killed again. But Jin has plot armor, so instead of watching his dad get killed again, he runs up in his own hallucination and knocks out young Tenzo. Now Jin can face his demons and talk to his dad.
We should have died here together, like warriors. I'm sorry I failed you, Father. The Sakai name is tarnished. When we lost your mother, I was left with a son I didn't know how to help. So I raised a samurai. It's time, Jin. Do what is necessary. Rid our clan of shame and defeat. Avenge me.
No, I will never be like you. The way you lived was not my choice. And your death was not my fault.
And just like that, with the power of plot armor alone, Jin is finally able to overcome the eagle's poison. And again, the eagle gotta have some sort of supernatural powers. Like, there's no way she was gonna perfectly time Jin killing Tenzo in his head with her killing Tenzo in real life. Anyway, the real important thing is that I finally reached a checkpoint. And you know, this is why sometimes a mid-fight cutscene's not so bad.
The sacred medicine no longer affects you. How is that possible?
Well, that would be plot armor, you bum bitch. Unfortunately, plot armor cannot carry me through this fight. And sitting through that long-ass cutscene did not do anything for my skills. As you can see here on what felt like attempt 698, I was so close to beating her. I was right there, and somehow she just snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you, that was almost my 13th reason, but I chose to grow stronger from this.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
One day, you will face the judgment of your ancestors.
May your death benefit all beings.
Ah, a beautiful brutality, as all endings should be. We've successfully conquered Jin's inner and outer demons. We've given Jin back the peace that he deserves, and so his story comes to an end. He can finally move on with his life. And now so can you. Congrats, you made it to the end of the video. If you did make it this far, I just want to say thank you so very much for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this and a free imaginary katana. Alright, get out of here.